Let me go ahead and share my iPad screen here. So, one of the uh, frameworks that I worked through with my friend Courtney on her podcast was called the Calm Framework. So, I'm going to write that down here and then I'll walk through each of these for you. So, the Calm Framework is a framework that I came up with to quickly and easily generate content either for your podcast or your YouTube channel or your blog. Usually for me, it's my podcast or my newsletter, and I use both of those things for my podcast. So like I reuse both of those, and we'll get to that. But let's start with C. C stands for capture. So you need to have a good way to capture your ideas. So I'll say here, this could be pen and paper, right? Let's pick a different color for this. Oh, I'm getting like a lot. There we go. Let's do purple. I like purple. Pen and paper, dictation. That's awful. Let me make that clearer. Dictation. A note app of sorts. So these are like a few ways that you could capture. So in Podcast Navigator, I would walk through this and then kind of show, and I mean, maybe not pen and paper, you know how that works, but my process for capturing ideas with a notes app, right? So you want to make sure to capture your ideas. My goal is no matter where I am, I want to be able to shout into the void, basically, when I want to capture an idea, right? So an idea could hit me while I'm out on a walk or while I'm driving, and I don't want to lose that idea. And I know that a lot of people will say like, well, if it's good, it'll come back. No, it won't. We've all lost thoughts, right? Like I was thinking about what was I going to say? We've all forgotten things like that. And so you want to make sure to capture just about wherever you are. And I'm not saying like you always need to be thinking about work, but inspiration can strike at any time. And being able to quickly capture something is a good idea. So for me, I like using the Notes app, but there's also an app I use called Whisper Memos that allows me to easily capture those ideas. You want to capture your ideas and you want to put them someplace. The A is for articulate. And I kind of wish I had a better word for this. Maybe there is a better A word. I like the idea of the calm framework because you don't want your creator business to feel chaotic. So you want to articulate the best ones, right? And this is going to be, this is where the organize comes in. So you want to organize the ideas and sort them. And then you want to actually write or record your favorites or the ones that you feel will do the best, right? So, for articulate, this is going to be, you're going to look at your ideas, you're going to pick the one that you're ready to talk about, and then you're going to write or record it. And this is like the big benefit here is that there's nothing worse than sitting down to have to create content and have a blank slate. And just so you know, I can show you my task app here. So here is things, and you can see Calm Framework video is in there. So at some point, I decided that I wanted to talk more about this and make a video about this. So, and that's what I'm doing now. I sat down, I went, oh, I need to do something for my newsletter. I definitely want to talk about Podcast Navigator, but I don't want to just kind of like recycle a video. And so here I am talking about the Calm Framework. It's a good time to do it. The episode with Courtney is out, and so I can expand upon it here. So capture your ideas and then articulate the best ones. Then you want to leverage. Leverage. I'm sorry, my handwriting is like chicken scratch. So you want to leverage for other platforms. Okay. And again, the idea here is this is not repurposing, right? Repurposing has, I feel like it's come to mean copy what you did in one place and post it in other places. And I don't think that's a good way to use content, right? You wouldn't drive your car on a bike trail, right? Or you wouldn't use a curling iron to make pancakes, right? Like, sure, your car might be able to go on a bike trail. And sure, if you get the curling iron like hot enough, I guess you can make pancakes, right? If you like warm it up. But maybe like a hair straightener would be a better example for this. But it's not going to work very well. And the same thing goes for the content you created. If you created a podcast episode, just kind of like clipping a part of it and putting it on TikTok is not effective for most people. So you want to take what you did and reframe it. I'll give you an example. Something that I usually do when I do my solo episodes of my podcast is record the episode. I have my notes, I have my outline. And then after I record, I'll say, hey, I just put out a podcast episode where I talk about ways to get feedback. Here are kind of the main points. And I will say the main points in a minute or less. So this is what I talk about. One thing that you could do, right? So that they do still have a takeaway. And then I don't even say, if you want to hear more, go listen, right? I'll just leave a comment that's like, hey, the full episode is here. So it is, I am creating new content based on the same idea. I am leveraging that idea that I've captured and articulated for other platforms. And I think this is the way to go, because platforms want to see content that is made for their platform. And I think a really good example of this is, let me see if I can share my LinkedIn analytics, because this is crazy. I barely know what I've done here, but if we look at my LinkedIn analytics, we'll see I've had 122,000 post impressions in the last 7 days. And if I click through to this, we'll see it's this one video. Here's the quick how and why for getting podcast listeners to engage with your show. This was a full episode I did. That episode on YouTube has like 7 views, but this video, 127,000 impressions. I think if we drill down, it's actually like 10,000 views or something like that. But the idea here is, and if I look at like I think the past 90 days will show something similar. We'll see like so there's another huge spike over these 2 days. And wondering how you can create better, faster solo episodes. So this is another short form video based on a long form podcast that got over 200,000 impressions. So this sort of thing has been really effective for me and leads me into the M part of the Calm framework, which is measure. Oops. I want to be consistent in my font weights here, or my pen sizes. Measure. And this is, you measure your results. All right. So when you do put content out, look at the analytics, engagement, how effective your call to action was, because all of these things will tell you what content resonates with your audience. Clearly, clearly this sort of advice plays well on LinkedIn. If I look at TikTok, my most popular video is around 2,000 views, and that is editing, right? I talk about editing, which was another episode. So these sort of signals will tell you the kind of content you should keep creating. This is especially important on YouTube, because once YouTube recommends a video and it learns what you've done or how you do it well, then you want to keep creating videos like that, because that's going to keep people coming. So the CALM framework: capture your ideas, articulate the best ones, leverage the content for other platforms, and then measure your results so you can keep making content that resonates with your audience.